As you can see, giant mess. We're going to get in here this week and get everything cleaned up. Going to plant 2 new fairy gardens. I've already taken everything out of these 2 containers, so that will be 2 fairy gardens in there. And I probably am going to do a couple tiny ones in here because I have some other little smaller pots. And you know, I got to do 30 of them this month, so they can't all be big ones. So I have these 2 big ones, and I have these 2 small containers, and I do have my poor covered wagon looks like it's falling apart, but we'll see what we can do with it. I might even work the covered wagon into something. I don't know yet. We'll just have to wait and see. But for sure, I'm getting these 2 big ones done and these 2 small ones this week, and I'm going to throw all the crap away that's over here and cut all the dead stuff up. So let's get going. A $6 fairy garden. How to come up with that number? The container I already had, all the plants I already had. These are all cuttings off of plants I already own. The path, I got it on sale, Joann Super Sale, $2. The little bike, $2. So that brings our total to $4. The house I've already had. I've had it so long, I've even painted and it's ready for another paint job. But I thought it'd be fine for this year. Look a little rustic. And I probably used like maybe $1 of little pebbles. I went and bought a giant bag that had been open and I got it really reasonable at Home Depot. And I used just a little bit of new soil on top because there's still quite a bit of soil under there that I already had. So that's about $6 for this fairy garden. So finally got a nice one under 10. So here we are, under 10, $6. On the bicycle that I got, I put a little bit of moss in there and 1 little tiny cutting and a little bit of soil. So that is a real live plant in there, if you can believe it. And these little things here are real live plants too, along the path to give some color. And you can tell that's an old house. The hinges are getting all rusted out. And I'll take an update picture with the light on and let you see it too tonight when it gets dark. There's another new fairy garden. The container was no cost. The plants right here were already in this container for the last couple of years and they were still alive, so I reused them. And there's another one over here, and I did take some cuttings off of this to use in the other container that we already saw. This is a new plant, was $2.50 at Home Depot. And this was a new plant, another $2.50 at Home Depot, so that's $5 for those plants. All the other plants you see in here were cuttings off of plants I already had. The path was a Joann Super Special, $2. So far we got 2 plants at $5, $2 for a pathway. So that brings it to $7, and $1 for the pebbles. Let's see, what would that be? 5, 7, 8. I think we have an $8 expense here because the container I had, I hardly put any kind of soil in this because most of the soil was still good. And the house I already had. And all the other plants were cuttings and I already had all them. So that wasn't a bad price for this fairy garden.